Hidden in the high desert of eastern Utah, beneath the scorched, jagged terrain of Blind Frog Ranch, a mountain holds a secret older than human civilization, a phenomenon defying current understanding of physics, space, and time. What began as a routine quantum scan for mineral deposits spiraled into one of the strangest scientific mysteries of the decade: the discovery of a black hole energy signature inside the mountain itself. Blind Frog Ranch has long been a magnet for speculation, whispers, and unusual phenomena. Tales of vanishing livestock, unexplained lights, and subterranean chambers echo through the region's history, handed down from ancient indigenous legends to 20th century miners. But the true turning point came when advanced quantum scanning technology, originally developed for deep space mineral mapping, was employed in a geological survey of the mountain. At first glance, the scan results seemed flawed. The equipment, based on entangled particle feedback loops, was calibrated to detect subtle fluctuations in gravitational and magnetic anomalies below Earth's surface. But at a depth of nearly 1,200 feet within the mountain, the instruments detected a gravitational sink, an implosion point of space-time curvature. It mimicked, with uncanny precision, the signature of a black hole's event horizon. However, the surrounding geology made no sense. There was no neutron collapse, no astronomical mass density. The rock layers, though warped, bore no evidence of explosive heat or fusion damage that such a singularity would theoretically cause. The quantum scan's data visualizations resembled a vortex, a spiraling collapse of probability densities where local space-time bent inward like water into a drain. Not metaphorically, but mathematically. Investigators initially considered technical error. The scanning arrays were recalibrated, retested, and repositioned. But each successive scan confirmed the anomaly. Then came an even stranger revelation. The phenomenon was not static. Over a period of weeks, it appeared to be growing. Quantum harmonics showed that the vortex fluctuated rhythmically, almost like a heartbeat, expanding and contracting across an 11-minute cycle. During its expansion phase, instruments detected an ultra-low frequency pulse that interfered with radio transmissions and caused GPS drift in nearby equipment. It was as if space-time itself was breathing under the mountain. Physicists on the investigation team proposed several theories. Some speculated it could be a micro-black hole stabilized by exotic matter. Others believed it might be a localized rupture in the Higgs field, creating a self-sustaining bubble of altered vacuum energy. More radical interpretations suggested an artificial construct, an ancient device tapping into quantum gravitational currents, left buried deep within the Earth eons ago. The area around the anomaly began to show physical effects. Rock strata directly above the energy sink became brittle, fractured as though subjected to continuous low-level stress. Magnetometers recorded spikes in geomagnetic flux during the anomaly's expansion phase. Nearby trees, those growing directly over the projection point, developed spiral growth patterns and exhibited anomalous DNA methylation, indicating genetic changes over time. A team of independent geobiologists analyzed the local flora and fauna and found peculiar concentrations of isotopic iron in the soil, particularly iron-60, an isotope not naturally produced on Earth in significant quantities. This particular isotope is typically associated with supernova remnants, adding a layer of cosmic strangeness to the mystery. Meanwhile, the mountain itself began emitting a faint hum, inaudible to the human ear, but picked up by ultrasonic equipment. The sound spectrum aligned with what's called subharmonic gravitational resonance, a concept typically only seen in theoretical models of black hole accretion disks. Some researchers argued the mountain was not merely harboring the energy of a black hole, but was acting as a conduit, channeling it. This led to the next phase of inquiry. If the mountain was a conduit, where was the other end? Using paired entangled particle arrays across multiple points in Utah, New Mexico, and Nevada, researchers triangulated a series of spontaneous quantum entanglement spikes linked to the anomaly. The data implied a non-local origin, possibly extra-dimensional or located deep within the Earth's mantle. One model suggested a wormhole structure, anchored at Blind Frog Ranch and extending somewhere inaccessible through normal geological pathways. Then came the energy bleed. On a frigid morning in January, a localized EM burst surged through the monitoring station closest to the anomaly. Power grids within a half-mile radius failed. Compass needles spun without pattern. Digital devices froze. The station's lead-lined batteries melted down despite flare activity. When the researchers retrieved sensor logs from isolated backup systems, they found something startling: a 0.3-second time displacement. The monitoring station, relative to the global atomic time network, had experienced a brief but measurable lag. Time distortion. The effects, though minute, were consistent with gravitational time dilation, a phenomenon expected near strong gravitational wells like black holes. The mountain's singularity was not just theoretical. It was exerting real-world relativistic effects. Speculation intensified. Was this a naturally occurring gateway? A relic of ancient technology predating known civilizations? Or something more extraterrestrial? Adding fuel to the mystery, ancient petroglyphs found within nearby sandstone cliffs depicted spiral patterns, intersecting lines, and humanoid figures standing before what resembled wave-like distortions, eerily similar to modern interpretations of gravitational lensing. Anthropologists re-examining local Ute and Navajo myths discovered references to the sleeping hole that sings and the path the stars forgot. While long dismissed as metaphor, these stories took on chilling significance in light of recent discoveries. Excavation was attempted, but with limited success. Drilling equipment malfunctioned repeatedly as it approached within 100 feet of the anomaly's edge. Mechanical failures escalated. Motors seized. Metal warped. Workers reported vertigo, hallucinations, and lost time episodes when near the dig site. One camera drone sent into a vent near the anomaly captured several minutes of footage before abruptly shutting down. The recovered footage showed a flickering distortion, a circular shimmer in the rock, pulsating with dim violet light. Whatever lay beneath the mountain, it resisted intrusion. It wasn't merely hidden. It protected itself. Government agencies began to take notice. Within months, funding and oversight shifted hands from civilian to defense research organizations. Non-disclosure agreements were issued. Access to the site was restricted. A temporary no-fly zone was established over the mountain. Satellite imaging of the area was quietly downgraded in resolution, yet rumors leaked. Whistleblowers hinted at energy readings higher than any natural source should emit, enough to power a city. Others suggested the energy wasn't electrical in nature, but instead quantum kinetic, what some call zero-point energy. A few fringe theorists proposed that the anomaly wasn't just a portal, but a power plant. Not human-built, but ancient. Alien. A stellar engine buried beneath the Earth, still humming with life. Even as official reports denied further findings, subtle signs persisted. Wildlife migration patterns around Blind Frog Ranch shifted. Auroral displays were seen hundreds of miles south of their usual range. A persistent, low-frequency tremor echoed in the crust, detectable only through sensitive seismic equipment, always centered on the mountain. To this day, The energy source inside the mountain remains unexplained. Some call it a microsingularity, others a quantum artifact, still others a sealed gate to something far beyond human understanding. Whatever it is not dead. It is not dormant. It pulses, it waits. And Blind Frog Ranch, once a curious geological footnote, now stands as a beacon, an enigma drawing scientists, mystics, and seekers alike. Whether it is a doorway, a warning, or a relic of forgotten powers, one truth remains. In the arid wilderness of eastern Utah, nestled between eroded mesas and fault-split canyons, a strange land hides its most sacred secrets in silence. Blind Frog Ranch, long whispered about by ranchers, wanderers, and tribal elders, has become the locus of one of the most baffling scientific anomalies ever recorded on American soil. It began not with myth, but with a scan. What was initially a straightforward survey for subterranean minerals became an encounter with something that challenged modern science. A team of geophysicists, contracted to map the mountain interior using a quantum entanglement-based scan system, uncovered an anomaly that defied everything they knew. Instead of predictable rock formations and fault lines, the scans revealed a swirling, dense gravitational fingerprint buried nearly 1,200 feet beneath the surface. It resembled a black hole. Yet the implication was impossible. No such singularity could exist within the Earth's crust without catastrophic consequences. But the energy signature, the spiraling density curve, the gravitational gradient, the quantum flux, matched exactly what would be expected from a low-mass singularity or an artificial gravitational engine. The readings were consistent and reproducible. The team ran the scans again, resetting equipment and triangulating positions. The same impossible image returned, a gravitational well, locked deep inside the mountain, exhibiting properties indistinguishable from a micro black hole.